Welcome to Easy English Listening, Level B1. Today's story is designed to improve your vocabulary, your listening skills, and your fluency. Let's begin. Have you ever found something in your house that made you stop breathing? Last night, I found a door in my attic. A door I had never seen before. It wasn't there yesterday. And the moment I touched it, everything changed. I still can't get over it. This seems very strange to me. I live alone in an old house. Nothing fancy, just an old, quiet house. But I always loved exploring it. I used to think the house wasn't so mysterious. I thought so until I found a strange door in the attic. A single bulb flickered weakly, casting long shadows across the dusty floor. The air felt colder up there, almost as if the attic belonged to a different season, a different world. I could smell old books, dry wood, and something else. A faint scent I couldn't recognize. I could smell old books, dry wood, and something else. A faint scent I couldn't recognize. It reminded me of metal or rain or something ancient. I walked slowly between the old furniture covered with white sheets. The cloths moved slightly in the draft, making them look like silent figures watching me. Cobwebs hung in the corners like fragile curtains, and dust floated in the air like tiny particles of light. I knelt down to check one of the boxes, lifting the lid carefully. Inside were just old photographs and broken decorations. I sighed, stood up, and looked around again, trying to remember where the other boxes might be. And that's when it happened. In the far corner of the attic, the darkest corner where the light barely reached, something caught my eye. At first, I thought it was just part of the wall. But as I stepped closer, the shape became clearer. A small wooden door. It was low to the ground, almost hidden behind an old trunk. Dust covered it completely. But even through the dust, I could see a strange symbol carved into the wood. Something like a spiral with sharp edges. I didn't remember ever seeing it before. No one had mentioned it. No one had used this attic in years. No one had used this attic in years. And the air around it felt different, heavier, almost alive. I stood there for a long moment, staring at the small wooden door. Something about it felt wrong. Not scary exactly, but out of place, like it didn't belong in our house, or in this world. I took a slow breath and reached out my hand, as my fingers moved closer. The air around the door seemed to grow even colder. I could feel it on my skin, a soft chill, like a whisper of icy wind. But there were no windows open, no breeze, nothing that could explain it. I stopped just a few centimeters away. My hand hovered in the air, trembling a little. I wasn't sure if I was shaking from the cold or from something inside me. Something telling me to be careful. The strange symbol on the door looked almost alive in the dim light. The carved lines seemed deeper than normal wood carvings, as if they had been burned into the door, not cut. The spiral shape pulled my attention inward, like it was inviting me or warning me. I bent down slowly to inspect it more closely. The wooden surface was old, cracked, and dry, but the symbol looked newer, as if someone had carved it recently, or worse, as if it had carved itself. I reached out again, and this time I let my fingertips touch the wood. It felt warm. Not warm like a normal piece of wood. Warm like something alive. Like skin. I quickly pulled my hand back, my heart beating faster. My eyes darted around the attic, half expecting someone, or something, to be standing in the shadows. But everything was still, silent, watching. I swallowed hard, suddenly aware of how alone I was up there. My curiosity was growing stronger than my fear. I leaned in and placed my ear close to the door, just to see if I could hear anything from the other side. At first there was nothing. Only the faint buzz of the old attic light above me. But then, very softly, I heard something. A sound like a breath, slow and steady, as if someone was standing on the other side of the door waiting. I froze. My whole body stiffened. I held my breath, trying to listen more carefully. Another sound came, this time quieter, almost like a whisper. I couldn't understand the words, but I could feel them. Soft, close, too close. I stepped back quickly, my foot bumping into an old trunk behind me. The noise echoed through the attic, breaking the eerie silence. I stared at the door again, And then the symbol on the wood seemed to pulse, just once, like a heartbeat. I stood there, breath caught in my chest, staring at the door. My heart was pounding so loud I thought the attic might hear it. The faint light above hummed softly, but it felt distant, as if I had entered another realm. I reached into my pocket and took out my phone, just to use its flashlight. My hand trembled, but I switched on the light and pointed it at the door. The beam cut through the darkness, landing on the strange symbol. The carved lines were now more visible, deep grooves, casting minute shadows. The wood grain around them looked unsettled, rough, as if the door had aged centuries in a day. A cold draft brushed past me. I spun around, expecting a window, but there was none. Just the clutter, old boxes, dusty furniture, and shadows that didn't belong. Still, the attic was silent, but the silence felt full, heavy, a second breeze. Stronger this time, it rattled the lid of a nearby box. Dust rose in swirling patterns, illuminated by the flashlight. The particles danced slowly, like small ghosts in the air. I blinked. The door seemed to breathe too. A faint movement, almost imperceptible, as if the wood pulsed under the light. My breathing got shallow, I thought. Maybe I should step back, walk away. But my feet stayed glued to the floor. Something inside me, curiosity, fear, longing, held me in place. Then a sound, a soft click, not outside, not in the attic corner, right behind the door. The room was small, like a secret chamber, but it didn't feel small. The walls seemed to stretch forever. Shadows danced along the golden light, and then I saw it a mirror, but it wasn't reflecting me. It was showing another version of the house, cleaner, brighter, almost perfect. And in that mirror, I saw someone, me, but not really me. Someone smiling, calm, happy. I wanted to touch it, but my hand passed through. It was like a different world. I stepped back. My heart was pounding. Then I noticed something carved into the floor near the mirror. Words in an old language. I couldn't read them. But suddenly, I felt peaceful, like someone was telling me, "You are safe. You are not alone." And I realized maybe this door wasn't just a door. Maybe it was a doorway to something inside myself that I had forgotten. My courage, my curiosity, my hope. I froze. Every muscle in my body locked in place as that deep, ancient voice whispered behind me, "Don't open it." For a moment, I couldn't even turn around. My body felt heavy, as if the air thickened and wrapped itself around me. The attic suddenly felt colder, darker, smaller. Forced myself to look over my shoulder, slowly, very slowly. I left the room feeling strange but warm, closed the door carefully, and ran down to my room, shaking but smiling. And when I looked back, the attic looked normal again. No door, no light, just the old dusty boxes. I don't know if anyone would believe me. Maybe it was a dream, but I don't think so. Because tonight, I feel different, braver, like something in me has changed. And maybe, just maybe, I will go back tomorrow. Subscribe if you want to sound as a native.